So everyone just find a comfortable seat on your mat. You can sit up onto a cushion if that's more comfortable to tilt your hips forward. And you could sit cross-legged or maybe in half lotus, whatever is comfortable for you and whatever is going to allow your spine to be straight. So I'm just going to introduce for a moment before we start. We're going to do a short meditation before the practice. But for those of you who don't know what yin yoga is, I'm going to introduce it, just say a few words about it. Yin is a very different practice. It takes a very different approach, a more gentle approach than the normal yang practices that we're mostly familiar with, the more dynamic and active styles of yoga. And yin is, as yang focuses more on sort of a rhythmic movement and activation of the muscles, yin is a lot more about bringing this sort of passive energy, relaxing the muscles, and learning to really relax and accept. And today in our lives, in general, our lives in modern society are completely dominated by this yang energy, this action energy of achieving and doing. And we are not used to the yin. We are not used to this being passive, not doing anything. So yin comes to bring us that, to balance the energy, to bring us back to equilibrium within ourselves, emotionally, mentally, physically, all across the board. And yeah, that's why yin is a really great sort of complement to any yang practice, and also anyone who just lives a very active life, which is most people. So each pose we're going to be holding for 3 to 5 minutes. We're going to be doing deep stretches that are going to be activating the deeper connective tissue in the body, the fascia. And what happens is when we hold poses for so long, it allows a lot of time for introspection and a lot of time for present awareness. And when we have that, we begin to observe or become aware of what's happening inside, what is present within our bodies, within our minds, what's present emotionally. And sometimes this can bring up some deep held emotions in the body, some things that we're normally used to kind of running away from by doing. We have so many distractions in our life. We're so used to, whenever we feel discomfort, we just turn our attention towards some distraction. We don't sit with it. And so I would like to invite you to take this opportunity to really set an intention for yourself to create this sort of safe, warm, accepting space to accept whatever arises, whatever it is comes up, whatever you observe in this present moment. And by doing that, by creating the space, we allow ourselves to accept also the discomforts, the uncomfortable feelings that come up in life, and approach them more with ease. And when we do this, we're also allowing us to expand our capacity to experience life a lot more, with a lot more richness, more fully. So I encourage you to take a moment to set that intention. And we will meet in the front of the mat when you're done. So just close your eyes. Resting your palms on your knees. Taking an inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Turning our attention towards our external environment. Noticing any sounds in our environment, any noises. Trying to become aware of even the subtle sounds. Really focusing and trying to hear all the different levels of sound. Now shifting our awareness to our sense of smell. What does the air smell like? And really noticing the subtleties. And turning our awareness from the external environment inwards, beginning to focus on the inflow of our breath, coming in through the nostrils, filling the lungs, expanding the chest, and allowing it to release through the nostrils. Again, taking a deep inhale through the nose and focusing really on the sensation of the breath coming in as it passes through the back of the throat, filling up the chest area and allowing it to drop into your lower belly, expanding your lower belly. Gently releasing first from your lower belly, back through the chest area, and out through the nose. Feeling the cool air come in through the nose, bringing us calmness and lightness. Filling up the body, expanding the lower belly. And gently relaxing, releasing the breath, releasing any tension. Continuing to focus on the sensations of the breath coming in and out of the body. And if you find your mind wandering, just gently take note of it and bring your attention back towards your breath. Any physical sensations, any noises, anything that distracts you, use your breath as your anchor to tune into the body. Beginning to develop this moment-to-moment body awareness. Keep allowing the lower belly to expand as you inhale. As when we allow the lower belly to expand, we are also allowing the mind to relax. When there's tension in the lower belly, our mind is also tense. Feeling a wave of relaxation come over our entire body as our sit bones sink deeper into the earth, relaxing our shoulders, relaxing all facial muscles, relaxing our palms and our knees, And gently beginning to open our eyes. We're going to start out in a child's pose or Virasana. So find a comfortable place on your mat and just sit your heels back. Your big toes can come to touch and your knees can be spread apart. We outstretch our arms in front of us, resting our forehead on the mat. And beginning to melt our heart down towards the earth. Really relaxing in this child's pose and the comfort of Virasana. Slowly we bring ourselves closer to stillness. Keeping your attention on your breath. Breathing into the lower belly. In Yin Yoga, once we find a comfortable posture, we try not to wiggle or move too much, because since the stretches are targeting the deep connective tissue, when we wiggle or move, it's kind of like we're resetting that process. So we try to stay still. We try to practice stillness, being present in the moment to whatever comes up, whatever is there. Taking a few more breaths in child's pose. And we're going to slowly begin to walk our hands to the left side of our body. Walking the right hand, trying to make it meet the left so that we feel the stretch in the right side body. Breathing here for a moment. And then passing through the middle, we walk our hands to the right side. Feeling the stretch in that left side of the body. Stretching our left palm forward. And walking our palms back to the middle. Pressing our palms into the mat. We're going to take a puppy pose. So we make sure that our hips are over our knees. Our legs are about hip distance apart, and we begin to walk our hands further away from our body, keeping our hips up high and melting our chest towards the earth. So because we're going to stay here for a few minutes, even if you're flexible and your chin is touching the mat, you want to rest your forehead on the mat. And if you would like some support here, you can also grab a pillow, placing it underneath your belly, or two, if you can't reach that far down. And really just allowing yourself to sink in to the ground. Let gravity take you down. Breathing here, connecting to our breath. Feeling the shoulders opening up. Feeling our heart melting to the ground. If you feel any pinching sensations in the arms, you can take your arms out a bit wider. You don't want to feel any pain. Feel any pinch, any pain, that's a sign that you need to back up. If you feel general discomfort, that's okay. Trying to relax here. Any physical sensations that might be coming up. What kind of resistance do we meet? And how do we meet that resistance? When we breathe through that resistance, we become a lot more flexible, both physically, mentally. We approach difficulty with more ease and openness, become lighter. So we really use our breath to breathe through any discomfort. From here, we gently begin to walk our palms back towards our body, taking a child's pose just for one moment. And then meeting on our belly. Coming up onto our forearms and making sure that our elbows are underneath our shoulders. Our toes are released down towards the mat. And we're just going to check in here. So you might feel slight compression in the lower back. And if it's too much for you, you can walk your arms out forward. If it's not enough and you want a deeper stretch, you can begin to straighten your arms, maybe turning your fingers out a little bit towards the outside of the mat. But remember that we're going to be here for a few minutes. So there's no need to go to the full extent of any of the postures. And we want our muscles to be as relaxed as possible. So from here, you have the option either to gaze at the tip of the nose or close your eyes, whatever's good for you. And once you find your comfortable posture, just try not to move too much and just experience the stillness. And noticing what's present right now in the body, what's present in the mind, what's present emotionally. When we take a moment to stop, notice what's there. Bringing softness to this posture. Just a reminder that the way we experience challenges on the mat is the same way that we experience challenge in real life. The way we confront them, the way we approach them. So if we can practice being accepting and bringing softness on the mat, then we can do the same in our daily lives as well. For the last part, if you feel like you opened up a little bit and you want to come up onto your arms, onto your hands, feel free to do so. Allowing for deeper compression in the lower back. Remembering to breathe your attention back into the body. If you find your mind wandering, and gently beginning to bring the palms to the mat and releasing our face. And from here, we begin to walk the right arm out to the right side of our mat, bending the elbow so that our forearm is parallel to the long side of our mat. And making sure that our elbow is a little bit above our shoulder, so it's not in the same line. Our palm is resting on the mat, and we begin to roll onto the outer right hip. And then we bend our knees in. So we're really feeling that stretch in the biceps and in the shoulders. And you can rest your left palm either next to your face on the mat, or you can release your left arm behind your back, relaxing it backwards. And maybe you need to play around a little bit. Maybe you need to straighten your arm a little bit more. Feel where your edge is, whatever feels right for you. You don't want to feel any pain. Once you find the right posture, just settle in. Close your eyes here. Allow yourself to feel the sensation. Finding sort of union with your breath, where it's not only happening, but you're aware of it happening. You're in flow with your breath. From here, we're going to gently release the left palm and press it into the mat, bringing our right arm back to center. And this time, stretching our arm out to the left side of the mat, bending the elbow. Making sure that the elbow here is higher than the shoulder. Resting the left cheek on the mat and coming into the outer left hip, bending our knees in. Feeling the stretch in the biceps and the shoulder. And really playing around here for a little bit to make sure that this is a comfortable posture for you. Maybe you need to straighten your arm a little bit more. And once you find your comfortable posture, you can settle in. From here, we're going to slowly roll back onto our bellies, bringing that left arm back in, resting for a moment. Down to the belly. Releasing through the mouth, releasing any tension. From here, we're going to press our palms into the ground, push up and back, tucking our toes under and coming into a downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out our feet, stretching out the hamstring, stretching out the arms, and neutralizing the spine. From here, on the inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up. And we're going to lower our knee down on the exhale to bring it to the outside of the right wrist. Coming into a pigeon pose or swan in yin. And from here, before we go anywhere, we're just going to check in. So if we feel any pain here, and we're going to walk our foot towards our hips, more close to us. If we need a deeper stretch, then we're going to walk our foot closer towards the front of the mat so that our right shin is almost parallel to the front of the mat. So just noticing where you are. And if your hip is coming off the mat a lot and you want some support, you can place a block right underneath. Making sure that the weight is balanced in the center, so we're not falling to either side. Our back leg is long. And seeing maybe if we can come down to our elbows here. Maybe coming all the way down, resting on our palms. Resting on a bolster or a pillow if you have one. To relax the muscles fully so that we can really experience this stretch deepening. And just allowing gravity to take us down without putting in any effort. Feeling a deep opening in the hips. And just using the breath and gravity to allow you to sink deeper into the pose. Noticing any discomfort that might arise, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. I was in a really nice philosophy class today, and the teacher said something that really resonated and is really relevant right now. And he said that when we prevent ourselves from feeling discomfort or from feeling negative emotions, what we see as negative emotions like pain or sadness or anger, when we prevent ourselves from feeling those things, we're also preventing ourselves from feeling joy and love and the emotions that we actually want to feel. And when we allow ourselves to feel those uncomfortable feelings, we're also allowing ourselves, expanding our capacity to feel the things that we do want to feel as well. Having an all-around more full experience. So just approaching any discomfort with softness. Seeing where you can release tension. Wherever you are, gently propping yourself up onto your elbows and onto your palms, and being really slow and mindful about how you're moving here. Tucking your back toes under and starting to send your right foot back to join your left in downward facing dog. Maybe walking your dog, stretching out the legs. Noticing the difference between both legs. What changed? And on the next inhale, we're going to lift the left leg, sending it back. And then on the exhale, we bend the knee and send the knee to the outer part of the left palm. And again, checking in here, seeing maybe if we need to walk our foot a little closer towards our hips, maybe a little farther towards the edge of the mat. Making sure that our weight is balanced and we're not falling to the left side. If our hip is off the ground and it's uncomfortable, we can place a block underneath. Otherwise, beginning to settle in. So maybe coming to the elbows. Maybe resting all the way down on a bolster or a pillow if you have one. And allowing the body to melt into the ground. Connecting here to our feminine energy. Receptivity. Acceptance. Sometimes things come up that we haven't been confronted with in a long time. And that's because we store our emotions in our hips. And at certain times, especially certain times of the month for women, doing these deep hip openers and groin openers can really trigger us emotionally. Because we're releasing these deep held tensions, these deep held emotions in the body, and allowing them to rise to the surface. When we do this, we are creating space to let them go, to release them so that we can become more flexible and more soft, more at ease. On the inhale, we gently press the palms into the mat, coming up onto our palms, tucking the back toes under, creating space, and gently bringing our left foot to join the right in downward facing dog, being very, very gentle here, pedaling out the legs. Taking our time, tuning into the feelings in our body. How does it feel in our legs? And then lowering the knees to the mat. We're going to come into a frog pose. So there's a really big ant here. So come to the long side of your mat so that we can use the sides as padding for our knees. So we're just going to roll up the sides of the mat like I'm doing. And we're going to spread our knees really wide. We want to feel stretch here in the groin. So as wide as you need, coming to your own edge. It doesn't need to look a certain way. It needs to feel right for you. And everyone's body is different. So first we're just going to bring our big toes together and sit back on our heels. See how that feels. Maybe we're going to come down to our elbows. If this feels like too much a stretch, then we're going to come forward so that our hips are more above our knees in line. So you have the option to either go back or go a little bit more forward for less of a stretch. From here, if your hips are pretty back and you want a deeper stretch, we're going to take the legs out. So bringing the heels in line with the knees and the toes pointed outward. You can either stay here or you can rest your head on a bolster or a pillow, allowing the back muscles to relax. Finding your variation of the pose. And once you find your posture, try to stay still. And just let yourself sink into the pose, relaxing your head, allowing the facial muscles to relax, allowing the entire body to feel heavy and to just sink into the ground with gravity. Taking deep breaths. And creating a space of acceptance for any discomfort that we might feel right now. Breathing into any vulnerability makes us come out a lot stronger, a lot more resilient on the other side. You might notice that naturally your hips start to open a bit more. And if you feel like you want to go deeper, you can spread your knees a little wider for the last minute or so. Breathing here. letting the breath flow softly through the body, not holding the breath at any point. From here, if our toes were apart, we gently bring our toes back towards each other, bringing our knees slowly back towards each other, rolling out on mat. Coming to sit for a moment on our knees, just closing our eyes. Sitting in the stillness. And leaning towards our right side, we're going to straighten our legs out in front of us. And we're going to come into caterpillar, which is also known as Paschimottanasana in our normal yang practices. So if you normally have tight hamstrings, if you have tight hamstrings, you might want to rest the pillow under your knees to make it easier to fold forward. Otherwise, just keep your legs out straight. You can also rest the pillow on your lap. And we're just going to allow the body to drop naturally forward and down. And in our yang practice, we're trying not to round the back. And in yin, we actually want to round the back. We want to relax all the back muscles, relax our head and our facial muscles, and just allow the gravity to do the work. When we allow ourselves to be present without force, we naturally become much more flexible. Feeling the body naturally sink deeper and deeper without having to do anything. Releasing, letting go, surrendering to the posture, to the earth. From here, we begin to slowly roll up our spine, removing any support that we use. Leaning to our right side again. We're going to come sit up on the knees. And we're going to take a Virasana pose or hero pose. And we're going to sit in between our calves. So see if that's possible first. And then if it is, we're going to remove the flesh from our calves, taking it outward to create more space to sit in between. Now just check in here for a moment, seeing if this is comfortable for you. If you feel pain in the knees, then you're going to want to take a block or some support and sit on it. So place it in between the legs. And that should definitely take some tension off of the knees. And if you feel pressure in the ankles, then you will want to take either a rolled up blanket or a rolled up towel and just place it right underneath the ankles. So creating some support over there so it's not such a deep stretch for the ankles. Otherwise, if this is good for you and you need some more, then we're going to slowly drop down to our elbows. Seeing what we feel here, if this is enough for us today. If we want even more, we can come lie all the way down on our back. Releasing the elbows, lying our head back, maybe resting on a pillow or a bolster to really allow all the muscles in our body to relax, placing it underneath our back. And if we're already all the way on the floor, then we can maybe sweep our arms up behind our head. And wherever we are at our own edge, begin to relax into the pose. Scanning to see where you can release tension. And closing your eyes. And using your breath to stay in this body-centered awareness. Feeling the stretch in the upper thighs, in the ankles. Feel your body surrender into the ground. Allow it to feel fully relaxed. Noticing what's going on, what's present in our minds, maybe judgment, opinions. Maybe the things I'm saying trigger something within you. Maybe they make you want to roll your eyes at me. I'm just trying to see where that comes from. Trying to let go and accept. From here, we're gently going to come back up the way we came down. So if you're all the way down, then first we come up onto the elbows, gently removing any support, pressing our palms into the mat and pushing ourselves up back onto our knees. And just from here, leaning forward into a child's pose. So we're going to outstretch our arms in front of us, bring our big toes to touch, and rest our forehead on the mat just for a moment. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling our lower belly all the way down to the hips. And exhale through the mouth, releasing any tension. From here, we're going to slowly roll up, lean to the right side, stretch our feet out in front of us, and come lying on our back. We're going to come into a spinal twist before Shavasana. So just bringing your right knee in towards your chest. We're going to take our right knee with the left palm and bring it towards the left side of the room. Maybe taking a pillow or two and creating some support for that knee to really allow the leg muscles to completely relax into this posture so that no muscles are working. Stretching both arms out on either side of the body and gazing towards the right fingertips. From here, you can close your eyes. Begin to relax and wind down. And gently bringing the right leg back to center. Switching legs by bringing the left knee in, grabbing it with the right palm and sending it towards the right side of the body, stretching both arms out in front and placing some support under our left knee. Making sure that our left elbow is still gripping the mat here. I'm going to gaze towards our left fingertips and just relax into this twist. On the next inhale, we're going to remove the support from underneath our knees. And we're going to bring our left leg back to join the right, preparing for Shavasana. So sending the legs out as wide as the mat, allowing the toes to relax outward, sending the arms out about 45 degrees from the body, palms facing up towards the sky. The back of the neck is long. We gently close our eyes and begin to feel our body becoming heavier. Relaxing different parts of the body. So starting with the toes, feeling the toes and relaxing the toes. Relaxing the feet and the legs. Relaxing the knees and the thighs. Relaxing the buttocks. Relaxing the belly and the lower back. Allowing them to melt into the earth. Relaxing the chest and the upper back. Relaxing the shoulders. Taking a deep breath in. And on the breath out, releasing all tension from the shoulders. Relaxing the arms. Relaxing the hands. Relaxing the fingers and the palms. Relaxing the head and the neck. Relaxing all facial muscles. The jaw, the eyelids, and the space between the eyebrows. Everything is soft and relaxed. Scanning the entire body and feeling a wave of relaxation come over the entire body. Creating space for us to experience the benefits of our practice. Gently beginning to bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms overhead, interlacing your fingers, and stretching them back. Pointing your toes, taking a full body stretch. And then rolling on to the right side of your body. Bringing your knees in towards your chest. And taking a few moments here and then using your left palm and keeping your eyes closed, help yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your palms together at heart center and bowing your head to your heart lightly. Taking a moment to check back in with that intention. The intention to create a safe and accepting space for yourself to allow whatever it is to arise, to just be in the present moment and approach challenging situations with more softness and more acceptance. And let's see if we can integrate that into our daily lives. Thank yourself for coming out to the mat today, for coming out to bring good into your life, to bring wellness into your life. And I hope to see you again. Thanks for practicing with me. Namaste.